Welcome back to Library Choice YouTube channel. In today's class, we are going to learn how to make this beautiful BUBU kaftan. I'm going to take you through how to cut and neatly sew this in this class. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. So this is the fabric I'm working with. It's about 2 yards of fabric, so it's not so much. I folded everything into two, and then I'll mark my starting point and start taking my measurement. So once you mark your starting point, you're going to take your shoulder plus your sleeve length measurement. My shoulder plus sleeve length is actually 23 inches, but this fabric is not enough, so I had to join a bit to it. So that is what I could get for now. So next, you mark your neck width, which is 3 inches. Then you come down by 1.5 and create your shoulder slope just like that. So on the shoulder slope, from there you're going to mark your sleeve opening. I used 12 inches for this, and that is what I marked there. So after that, you're going to mark how wide your dress is going to be. So for this, I used my hip divided by 4, and then I added extra 3 inches to it, 2 inches for ease and 1 inch for seam allowance. So that is what I marked there. So whatever you have there is what you're going to mark all through your fabric. You're going to mark it straight down, just like that. I'll still explain this with the paper so that we can understand better. So I just marked my hip divided by 4 plus 3 inches all round, and then I connected into a straight line. Okay, so the chalk is not showing on the fabric because it's a foamy fabric, so I'm going to be illustrating with this paper. So the measurement I use for my shoulder and sleeve is 23 inches. So let me turn like this so that everything can be captured. So from the center front here, we are going to mark 23 inches, which is here. That was the measurement for my shoulder and then the sleeve length. Yours can be as long as you want. So once you have that, the next thing is to measure your neckline. So the neck width I use is 3 inches, and then the neck depth for the back is 1.5. The neck depth for the front is 3 inches. So now you pick your curved ruler, and then you connect for the back, and also you connect for the front. So for the front, it's going to have like a v-neck again. So for that, remember, it does not have a button at the back and there is no zipper, so this will help your client to be able to wear it easily. So for that, I want the total depth for the front to be 7 inches. So what I will do is just to slash this open, or you can just come here now and mark like 1/4 of an inch and then connect to the depth like this. Okay, so this is what you're going to be having for the back, and this is what you are going to have for the front. So here you will just come here now and mark 1.5 inches for your shoulder slope, and then you connect that to your neck depth. So that is what you need to do on the neckline. So for the sleeve opening, for me, I measured from my shoulder slope. I measured 10 to 12 inches is okay, basically downwards. And then once you measure that, you're going to measure the body of your dress. So for the dress that I worked on, for the body of my dress, I just used the hip measurement divided by 4. Then I added extra 3 inches, 2 inches for ease and 1 inch for seam allowance. So whatever you have there, you're going to mark it, and that is what we are going to mark all through the dress. Okay, that is what you're going to mark all through the dress. So I'll just connect that to my sleeve and then create like a curve like this. So that is everything that I did. So once you do that, you're going to create your neckline, and then you're going to cut it out. So you cut. I had to join a bit of fabric on the sleeve so that I can make up my 23 inches. Remember, I was using just 2 yards of fabric and it was not enough, so I cut. The fabric is very long, the length is about 65, so I cut some from the length and then I added to the sleeve. So once you cut it out, this is what you're going to have. So now you fold again and cut the front. So that is the front neckline. Now we are going to cut facing for it. I'm using this Mikado fabric for my facing. Remember I said my fabric is not a lot. So you just place it like this. Facing is just like a short lining. So you place it, cut your neckline, and then you just shape it anyhow you want. That's the front. So I did the same thing for the back. I folded the Mikado again, place the back neckline on it, and then you just trace out exactly what you have on your black back neckline. You cut a little bit of the shoulder as well, and then you shape it out like that. So the next is to cut my pockets. I used 4 inseam pockets for this. So the remaining Mikado fabric that I have, I use that to cut out the pocket. So once you do that, you're going to measure where you want to put the trimming. That is what I measured. Sorry, it was not showing well. And then I just pinned the trimming there. So once you do that now, you're going to sew your facing. You can see I have sewn the facing round. That's the back. You sew it and then you place a notch on it. So once you notch it, you're going to bring it to the wrong side like this, and then you give it a good press so that it can relax well. That is after you have weaved your facing. So that is for the back. Then for my front, you can see I have sewn the trimming on the hem already. So you're going to, it has a tassel at the center in front. So I want to use my facing to turn the tassel. So what I will do is just to place the tassel at the center point there first. I'm going to sew it. Then after sewing it, I will place my facing on it, and then I'll use the facing to turn everything out so that it can be neat. Always remember to weave your facing as well. So I have turned it and I use my hemming gum to iron it down. You can see how flat and clean it is looking. So that is the front neckline. And this is what it looks like on the right side. You can see that the tassel is already neatly fixed. So now that is my trimming. So you just measured where you want it to be. For me, I measured 42 inches, and on that 42 inches I just placed the trimming there and I sew. I prefer to sew, but you can also gum it if that is what you prefer. So this is the back. This is the back of the dress. Now I'm going to sew the shoulder, and I'll use the facing to turn the shoulder neatly as well. So you can see how I flipped it. I'm going to do that for the other side as well. I'll flip and then I'll go ahead to sew them together. So that is basically all you need to do. I'll once you sew it, you'll be able to sew this side. So this is the shoulder. After sewing it, this is what you're going to have. You can see we have joined the shoulder together. Now I will bring my hemming gum, and then I can now glue the facing for the back as well. You're going to iron it, and then you're going to glue it so that it can be nice. So once you do that, can you see I have joined to my sleeve so that it can be longer to make my 23 inches. Now I'll bring my trimming for the sleeve as well, and then I'll just place it on the sleeve just like that. Then I will sew it. Once you sew it, you close up the side, and that is basically all you need to do. You close up the side, you hem the lower part, and then you're going to open slit by the side. I opened slit because it's a straight dress and I want the person to be able to walk freely in it. So this is what the dress looks like on the mannequin. You can see how beautiful it looks and how elegant it is. I hope you enjoyed making this with me, and I hope you learned one or two things making this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.